Hello. I thought I'd put this resource together just so you've got something to practice with over the next coming weeks as part of the Intro to Pilates course. I know for me, when I first started out learning, something I enjoyed the most was to practice with people that made me feel good and gave me the confidence with what I was doing in my own body, that I was on the right track. So let's start with breathing. Remembering there are many ways to breathe. These are just a few examples of helping you pay attention to your breathing and draw attention to your breathing, building better awareness with what's happening inside you, and therefore understand ourselves in the breathing space a little more. Enjoy. We're going to start lying down on our side, knees bent, using the underside arm like a little pillow, closing down the top nostril. Take a moment, keeping the mouth closed. Gently start observing your inhale breath. Together we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. And now gently follow the exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat. As you breathe in, following the air as it passes through the nostril, down through the throat, flooding the lungs. As you breathe out, follow the contraction of the lungs as it pushes the air back up through the throat and out through your nose. You are simply a passenger, following the breath. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suspend, like you've put pause on. Just hovering. And now breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Suspending as the body continues the exhale phase. You might start to feel a bit uncomfortable as the lungs fully contract. 2 practices to go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Allowing time for more air to rush in, increase capacity. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just pausing, just waiting. Continuing to watch the air rush out. Lungs contracting, which might start to feel uncomfortable. Rest. Sitting up. Eyes closed when you're ready. Just having time. Notice any changes between the side we were lying on versus the side that was on top. How does the side that we were lying on feel? Getting ready for the second side. Spinning over, lying down, setting up the legs forward, closing down the top nostril, eyes closed when you're ready. Here we go. Quietly breathing, just follow the air as it passes through the nostrils, down your throat, and floods the lungs. Can you see that? Now hover. Staying in the inhale phase, allowing the body time to reach full capacity. And now here we go for the exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. pausing in the exhale phase, giving the body time to reach its full potential, increasing capacity. You might start to feel uncomfortable as the lungs fully contract. Here we go again, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice what's happening inside. Diaphragm is flattening, rib cage is swinging out and away and up. Abdominal contents are being pushed forwards. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice what's happening. The rib cage is swung back in. As the lungs relax, contract, push all the air out. And the diaphragm has ascended, increased in length, flexibility. Last practice, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pausing, hovering, allowing the body time to reach its full potential. Diaphragm flattening, rib cage swinging out and away and up, allowing more air to rush in. Increasing oxygen uptake. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pausing. Waiting for every little last drop of air. Wringing the lungs out. Feeling what happens as the lungs contract out. Coordination between the diaphragm ascending and the abdominals contracting. Rest. Sitting up. Gently close the eyes when you're ready. Notice the after effects. Now let's head onto our front. Lying down on the tummy. Let's open the legs so they're hip width apart and parallel, so kneecaps pointing down, heels lifted. Let's rest the head. And if it's comfortable for you, let's rest the cheek, that side of the face on the hands. Spending a little moment to settle in. Becoming aware of the pelvis. Feeling the weight through the pelvis. And using your breaths, your deep breaths. Allowing the body time to relax into the setting. Starting to feel some weight falling through the pubic bone. If not, suggest relaxation in the thighs. Then your next weighted spot should be your breastplate, your sternum. And the last weighted spot is your head resting on your hands. With the mouth closed, let's practice our breathing cycles. Breathing in to count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hovering, pausing in the inhale at the top, just for a couple of seconds. And now breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going for the empty. How much more air can you release out? Noticing what happens in the abdominal wall when you fully exhale. Lungs have fully contracted and the ribs have swung back in. Here we go again. Breathing in. Notice the fanning of the ribs, the swinging out and away and up. The diaphragm descending, and therefore the abdominals are pushing out against the mat. Little hold, a little pause. Tuning in. And now breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep thinking, exhale. Waiting until all the air's gone. A shrinking feeling. Full contraction of the lungs. Feeling like the tummy's been swept up in the path of the diaphragm. Now gently pick the face up. Turn to look to the other side. Gently lay the face down. And repeat. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing out. Keep watching the exhale. And breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep watching the fanning of the ribs. Keep seeing the lungs expand. And now breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Follow the diaphragm as it rises right back up underneath the ribs, like a big dome. See the ribs pull down towards the pelvis, and the abdominal wall gets swept in and up with the path of the diaphragm. Last practice, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll feel the tummy getting pushed out into the mat on the floor as the diaphragm heads right down and flattens. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently pick up the head. Laying the forehead on the hands. Now we progress our thinking. So as you're laying there right now, what does it feel like to take a deep breath out? Feel the ribs swing, collapsing towards each other. Feel the diaphragm elevate up. And now pause. What does it feel like now not to let the tummy fall, but to very gently breathe in, allowing a little bit of air into your gills, your side ribs, without letting the tummy wall fall to the mat. And now exhale, deepen 1, follow the diaphragm 2, diaphragm gets a little higher 3, a little higher 4, sweeping the tummy up with it 5, hold it, holding your breath like everything's on pause. Now go very gently, the air rushes in, but can you control it? Not so much air coming in, but the tummy falls. Just seeping. And now gently release it out. 5. Follow the diaphragm 4. It's lifting up 3. Tummy is getting swept with it 2. Diaphragm further 1. Pause. Feel your pubic bone on the floor. Feel the ribcage swinging in. Feel the diaphragm lifting. Last practice, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. How did you go? Were you able to keep the abdominals? Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Little pause. Follow the diaphragm. Continue to suggest the lift, feeling the abdominal wall being swept up. Rest. Spinning over on your back. We take what we've learnt and we now take it into the concept of printing. We'll continue to practice breathing alongside printing. We describe printing as a waking up of the body, a connecting of all the body parts, forming an integrated approach, so that by the time we start moving, the body feels connected to the whole. There's a sense of placement. There's a sense of alignment. You're using the printing phase to tune in. So right now, start to become aware of the parts that are connected on the mat. You're sampling. What can you feel touching the ground, the floor, the mat? The back of the head. Allow yourself for the next 3 cycles of breathing to experience the weight of the head, a feeling of falling through, opening up the back of the skull, and just allowing your body weight to assist us. Now use the next few cycles of breath to experience the spine. As soon as we say spine, does your mind already start to image what you think the spine looks like? Shape of the curves. See the light spots. Sense the light spots versus the heavy. When we say spine, can you see the whole? Right at the very first neck joint, following through the 7 neck, into the thoracic, following all the way through to number 12, that long downward curve. Then see the lumbars, the 5 that gently rise up and then tumble back down to find your sacrum, that fused triangle-shaped plate, broadening and resting on the floor. And then you see the tailbone coccyx, and it's fun to image the imaginary tail like it's lying on the floor between your feet. With us lying down on the ground, there is an opportunity to experience lengthening of the spine. So just by you hearing the word lengthening, can you suggest now that the spine feels long? There's a sense of elongation, using your breaths to eliminate, reduce, release tension, so that the big back muscles that run either side of the spine, ask them now to rest. Ask them to spread. So you can rest in the back. To help us with the lengthening of the spine, the elongation, but also the rest, we're going to begin our counting down the spine activity. To practice this activity, step 1 is to locate the start of the spine, the very first neck joint, right where your head meets the neck. Together, we're going to count down the back wall of the spine. The possibility that you could sense each and every one of those spinous processes like you're walking down the back of a dinosaur table. Here we go, stepping on the back, first joint 1. See yourself 2. Sense where the 3 is, the 4, the 5, 6, 7. Are you physically there? Can you see the end of the neck, right where it is in your body and on your back? Can you feel a presence there, like somebody is touching it? Stepping through the thoracic together now, here we go. Starting in the upper back, 1, 2. Walking down the back wall of the spine, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've just finished the thoracic. Just pause there. Giving the mind time. Now let's start the lumbar, the lower back. Watch yourself as you walk down the lower back, 1. See the gentle rise, follow it, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now physically move through the sacrum. Follow the moving through in your mind's eye, out through the coccyx, and the imaginary tail lying on the floor. And now just let the task peter away. Notice the after effects as the image peters away. Now bringing our attention up the body. Let's shift into the sternum, and together let's trace the sternum from the very tippy point in your mind's eye. Can you trace up the body of the sternum breastbone? And then in your mind's eye, see yourself trace the collarbones. Follow it physically. Follow the shape of it mentally and physically. How does that make you feel as we've traced? Like we've shone a torch. And we've said energy up and out, experiencing the widening of the collarbones. Already you should have noticed a little shift. It should have encouraged an opening, a widening, with that little lift up of the sternum. And then as we trace the collarbones, you should have noticed a widening, a sense of separating, a sense of the shoulder falling further back towards the floor. If you need to widen your arms and adjust the arms right now, please do. Now follow that around and trace your scapulars. Mentally imaging them. What do they look like? What shape are they? Can you see them? And then can you physically locate them in your body? Do you notice when you get the image clear that there's a sense of waking up in and around the scapula, not tensing, but there's a little simmering happening, a little buzzing of the muscles just gently being stimulated, being woken up. Now trace your arm from the very top, all the way down the humerus, all the way down the length of the arm until you find your wrist, hand and fingers. Spread the palm, open up the hand and the fingers, map it onto the floor. Little bit of pressure as you map it onto the floor. Follow back up from the little bit of pressure in your palm, follow the full length of the arm until you find the head of the shoulder again. Like you're printing the hand and the arm. There's a sense of energy, there's a sense of length, and then there's a sense of understanding of how that limb relates to the shoulder blade, the collarbone, the sternum. The limb feels connected, the hand feels connected. And you'll be noticing some stimulation in the muscles. You'll be noticing they're waking up. Can you juggle the hand and the arm, the connectedness in the hand and the arm with the shoulder, with the collarbone sternum, with the spine and the curves we saw in the spine, the sense of lengthening in the spine, the sense of elongation. You're printing. Now moving into the pelvis. In your mind's eye, see the shape of the pelvis as like a large bowl. It has two halves to it. See where it attaches into your sacrum in your mind, but then also locate physically. See those two halves, how they wrap around and connect into the joint, the pubic symphysis. Just the suggestion of that text has given you an opportunity to map that part of the body, develop awareness and connection. You formed the pelvis as part of the spine. To assist that, suggest a widening across the back line of the pelvis and a narrowing across the front. Now come into the foot. Pick all 5 toes up. And one at a time, starting with your left foot, place them on the floor. Pinky, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Now try your right foot. Pinky, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Like you're playing the piano. Keep your heel pad flat. Keep the 5 knuckles of the 5 toes flat. Pick up all 10 toes. Have you still got the 5 knuckle heads on the floor? Have you still got the center of the heel pad on the floor? Give the center of the heel pad a little bit of pressure. Give the 5 knuckle heads in the pad of the foot a little bit of pressure. Now play the piano, left foot, pinky, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Hold the left foot. You've got the center of the heel, you've got the 5 knuckle heads and the 5 long toes. Right foot, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. Hold it. Now you've got both heel pads, 5 knuckle heads and 5 long toes. It's like you're printing your whole foot into wet sand, marking territory. Go back up and check you haven't lost the hand span, the hand print. The long arm bone, reaching out from the heads of your shoulders. Check you've got your widening collarbones, the gently narrowing shoulder blades, the active lengthening down of the spine, supported by the weighted head, supported by the wrapped, formed pelvis. And now you've just added your footprint. Now the leg. Trace from the kneecap down the inside thigh to find the hip. Try that again. Locate the kneecaps. See them. Now trace. Tracing red. Down the inside shaft of your femur, directly into the hip socket. Energy down. How does your footprint help the connection from knee to hip? How does your formed wrap of your pelvis help the knee to hip line? And now see if you can keep the fully formed body printing gently simmering as you breathe in and count to 5. As you breathe out for 5. Good, now be careful. We want the deepening of abdominals now. So think of just a gentle widening, a gentle feathering fanning of the ribs. And then on your exhale, watch the lungs contract. Watch the air as it travels back up through the throat and out your nose. The diaphragm is lifting and the abdominals are getting swept up. 2 more, breathing in for 5. Control it. And breathing out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last practice. Breathing out, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now rest. Just let go of the print. The muscles in the hands and the arms and the shoulders relax. Muscles in the feet relax. Go back to just observing the breath. And gently roll over onto your side. And sit up. Well done. I hope this resource helps you practice over the coming weeks breathing and printing. Such a benefit in giving your body that time, getting that much detail into the joints, into the alignment, sensing the structures. You should notice that now that that's set you up beautifully to lie back down and practice imprinting, pelvic curl, chest lift, single leg lift, spine twist, cooler, over onto your tummy to practice prone breathing and diamond press, up onto your quadruped to practice breathing and cat stretch. See you next week. Bye.